Hello and welcome to the Moomoo mobile app demo. My name is Russ Fagan and I help lead influencer marketing for Moomoo Technology Inc. However, today I'm just another Moomoo customer asking all of the burning questions that we've been thinking. And to help guide us through this incredibly powerful investment platform is my good friend and fellow colleague, Jacob Roth.
Thanks, Russ. As he said, my name's Jacob Roth. I'm a senior manager of product and user experience here at Moomoo, and I can't wait to show you what we have to offer on our mobile platform. Let's get into it. I'm in the Moomoo app now, and I'll guide you through every nook and cranny that we have here. I'm going to click on the accounts page at the bottom middle of the app. Now you can see your total portfolio. This page is going to show you many things like the welcome bonus we're currently offering, all positions that are currently in your account, and your day-to-day stats of how your portfolio is performing. We can press on total assets towards the top of your page here and get an even bigger breakdown of what your portfolio is doing. So you can see here our trend analysis that you can differentiate between days, months, and year to date, your asset trend, and your P&L calendar as well. That can be differentiated between month and year as well. So we'll go back to the main accounts page here. Again, a few things I want to highlight are the subcategories across the top. So you see orders. Once we press on that, this is going to be all of your recent orders. This is going to show you any pending or open orders waiting to be filled. And also, you can click on history to get a breakdown of recent events in your accounts. So you can see recent dividends or fees or executions. We can also press on transfers and get a whole array of different action items that you can use here. So you can initiate a deposit, a withdraw, exchanges of currency, initiate a transfer of either cash or stock, and also create or link a new bank account. Once we press on the final subcategory of more, you're going to get even more options where you can manage your account. So, some of the recent deposit things that we just talked through, as well as being able to place a trade directly from this page.
Jake, that is super interesting to see such a comprehensive accounts tab, but what if I don't own any stocks yet? Where can we start?
Good question. So, in the bottom left hand corner, I'm going to press on watch list here. This page you can edit or customize to your liking. So, what we're looking at here are stocks that this account has chosen to track. You can pick new stocks, you can add or subtract them, move them up or down your list, and be able to view them quickly and easily at a glance. Few things here. Once we press on this settings icon, as I said, it's completely customizable. So you can choose different colors to indicate up or down, the watch list mode, being able to choose different stats that you want to see at a glance, differentiate between name and symbol, and turn on the flash on and off, as well as many other things. Scrolling down, you can see add symbol, where you can quickly just heart a new stock that you want to be able to track. And you can edit your list. So either move these stocks up and down, depending on your priority, or delete them or remove them from your list as well.
And so, Jake, I see a lot of great options here, and I'm not sure about what you have on your screen, but I don't have NVIDIA on mine. And I was thinking it would be a great example. They're super hot right now. What if we added NVIDIA to our watch list and went through the stock, talked a little bit about charting and all of the amazing analysis features that we have for single stock analysis?
Absolutely. So to do that, we can press on add symbol at the bottom of the watch list page. And we actually see NVIDIA is one of the top stocks in our US heat ranking. So we can press the Heart Plus button on the right side to add it to our watch list. And what we'll do is press on NVIDIA here to get to the main charting page. Across the top, we can see some of the major statistics on the day from NVIDIA. We can see what it's currently trading at, what it opened at, its previous close, and other stats like market cap. Just a little bit below that, we can also see some recent news that came out about NVIDIA, and also that they're set to release earnings on May 22nd after the market close. Scrolling down here, again, we've been able to differentiate ourselves by giving you full access to a high-tech charting platform on our mobile platform. So you can differentiate between day, week, and monthly charts and be able to differentiate and draw new indicators, add different technical indicators, and customize them as well. If we scroll a little bit lower, we'll start to see some of our high powered data that we provide at no cost as well. So, level two market data is going to give you a broader picture of our order book. Below that, we can see our market position overview. This is going to give an idea of what has been identified as potential support and resistance lines. Good thing about the mobile app here is right next to any of the tools that are defined for you, you can press on the information bubble and get a better idea of what that tool does. This information bubble takes you to a Help Center article where you can really dive into what sets this tool apart or when it can be used. Going back to our main chart page here and scrolling down, we have more tools like our trade overview, giving you an idea of the net outflow and inflow. Our capital trend, again, being able to differentiate between visualizing that inflow and outflow. And next, we have the indicator sentiment tool.
Hold on, Jake. This feature is one of my favorites, so I want to make sure that we spend enough time here because to me, I've never seen this style of feature on a different platform, and I think there's a lot of value to unpack here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this tool gives you a bird's eye view of what different indicators are doing. It could help investors who don't have the time to spend analyzing each indicator themselves and give you a picture again. So we have different time frames here that you can differentiate this tool by. But if we just press on it here, you can see again what different indicators are giving bullish or bearish outlooks.
So really it just makes our lives as customers a lot easier rather than having to go into all of the individual indicators that we do provide on the charting tab, but it kind of does it for us to make our lives easier and to spend less time doing the analysis itself.
That's fair. And I think it's common for many people out there to be a little bit intimidated by technical analysis. So, doing some of that work for you, but also giving you an information bubble that you can press on in the top right-hand corner to give you a breakdown of what different indicators mean and what the tool is trying to do for you can really go a long way in helping you make a more informed decision.
Right. And for the record, I'm no technical analyst. I actually prefer fundamental analysis, but I can't help but understand the value of entry and exit at the right time. And, I don't have the patience or the knowledge to do the analysis, but the fact that Moomoo is willing to do it for me so that I can incorporate technical analysis into my more traditional investing strategies, I think, again, it's just such a powerful tool and it helps everybody be a more informed investor from both sides of the screen.
Agreed, Russ. And we've spent a lot of time and resources making this a differentiating factor, right? So at the bottom of the screen here, you can again see some of the back testing that went into the last year of data that we're pulling. So a full picture of what you're trying to differentiate in terms of technical analysis.
We should move on, but as a bit of foreshadowment, this is one of my favorites, but there are a couple more features down the line that get me just as giddy as this one, so I'm excited to share those as well.
Agreed, Russ. Yeah, so we'll go back to the charting page at least for now. And if we keep scrolling down, you'll get information around short sell analysis. It's a good visualization of what's being represented in terms of different short sell data out there. You'll also see the short interest below that. Again, visualizing that data for you as well.
Nice. So charting is great. I did just mention that I'm not a technical analyst by day, but I like other types of analysis. I like options, I like fundamental analysis, I like to read the news. What else can we really get out of this tab outside of charting and technical analysis?
Yeah, we have a very inclusive app. So let's take a look at a different stock here. Let's look at Tesla, for example, and we're going to press on the options tab. As you can see, we have our option chains here for Tesla, and this is completely customizable. So any column, any metric, any Greek, or anything that you want to customize can be done on our mobile app here. At the same time, we have in-depth analysis around open interest and volume, volume by strike, open interest by strike price, and a volatility term structure. Going back to the chain here, you can press on the bottom of your screen to set up different strategies. So, depending on the option level that you have and how you are trying to trade, you can differentiate by vertical spreads that automatically start building spreads with different widths. For example, you could also pull up an iron condor here and start looking at different prices for those strategies as well.
Jake, there's a lot going on here, and it all looks really cool. But for somebody that's more of a beginner, how could I utilize Moomoo to trade options, knowing little or close to nothing with a passion to learn?
Good question here. So I'm going to press on the light bulb in the top right hand corner. We call this our options boot camp. So this gives a visual representation of what you think is going to happen to the stock that you're currently looking at. So if you think Tesla may go up, you can press on this up arrow and see different strategies that match your intention or match what you think Tesla is going to do in the short term or long term. If you think Tesla's going to go down, again, it gives you different strategies that matches the intention of what you think Tesla is going to do. Again, if you think Tesla is just going to be volatile, gives you different strategies that match that. And if you think it's going to stay in a relatively little range or short range here, you can also see strategies that follow that as well. So I'll go back to if you think Tesla may go up. And as you can see, it says buy a call. And if we press on more, it gives you a visual representation of what you think the price and loss is going to do, or what the option could profit or lose off of. Also, you can press learn more at the bottom, and it brings you directly to our options page that has several videos that break down options trading, going anywhere from the bare bones, the very basics of options trading, all the way to more advanced strategies as well. I'll go back to our options tab here. And again, we have analysis that you can see different visual representations of analysis out there. So if you wanted to learn more about a volatility smile, for example, you could press on the information bubble. It gives you a definition here and tells you exactly what you're looking at and how it can help your trading. I'll go back up to the top now, and unusual activity is a product or issue that's been coming up a lot in recent history. People have used large options trades to try to follow what other traders may be doing in the open market. So, unusual activity gives you an opportunity to filter by different prices, sizes, or activity sides of the market that you want to differentiate by, and then it helps you identify some of these trades that may stick out more than others as well.
Geez, that is a lot of awesome information on options, but it's not the only type of analysis. Sure, we talked about charting and now we talked about options, but what other types of analysis can Moomoo provide us?
Yeah, there's a few other sections that we can dig into our app here. So, if you're looking to see what other traders like yourself may be saying about a particular stock, we can dig into the comments section here. You'll see at the top, it gives a poll of, what's your next move with Tesla? And maybe you can get a quick sentiment check of what other traders are feeling about the stock in the near term. Also, as we scroll down here again, you're going to see some of our Moo community out there what they're saying about the stock as well. Also, at the same time, we can press on the news tab here and really start digging into some of the headlines. So you can do this by an individual stock or just broader headlines around the market. But as we see here, it's giving updated news by the minute, by the hour of articles coming out in and around Tesla. We can also press on announcements here. This is going to give more of a fundamental approach or news that different people in the company are doing at the same time. And then outside of that is our ratings tab. So this is going to have a breakdown of different financial analysts out there, what they're saying about the stock, and updated findings around their results. At the same time, let's press on the company tab and start digging into Tesla as well.
What if we check out a different company? I'd love to look at Apple because it is the biggest company in the stock market after all.
Yeah, let's take a look at Apple here. So I'll go back to our watch list because I know I'm following that. And let's dig into Apple's company tab here. So as we see, there's a lot of useful information on this page. First thing we see is our earnings hub. Gives you a quick breakdown of revenue year over year, EPS year over year, but we can also press into the earnings hub and get a full breakdown here. So we see the estimated time of May 2nd, that was recent here. And then it gives you an overview, what the actual versus year over year versus estimate was. We have some other useful information here as well in terms of smartphone shipments. You get a visual representation of the growth and different shipments.
And just below that is really cool. Just the way that we paint our conference call Q&A to almost feel like an iMessage group chat between the investors and the company Apple themselves. So I just wanted to point specific attention to that section.
Yeah, I like this section as well, Russ. So if you're like me, you don't really have time to sit down and listen to a full earnings call every time one comes out. So we do a good job of breaking it down here. And again, seemingly very similar to how you experience text messaging. You can break it down by question, see the direct answer that was given on the call, and help you make an informed decision that way as well.
And what's cool is this is more of that qualitative breakdown, but maybe you're more of a visual learner. And we actually have visualized Apple's earnings below that as well, not only through our analyst ratings, which I think we'll probably get into more once we get out of here, but through the actual images that we've provided as well, if you see that.
Yeah, I like this as well. If you're more of a visual learner, gives a good breakdown of what's making up Apple's revenue here, their operating data, financial indicators that you can differentiate by as well, revenue from iPhone. Again, this is great information to help you make an informed decision. If you're not a visual learner, just slightly above that, you can just listen to a replay of the call as well. We do that for you here as well.
And I think this tab is just a great example of, in no way are we the only investing app out there. But what we strive to do is give you as granular of a perspective as possible and really break out the amount of information that we can provide. And Jake, I think another awesome example of where we kind of go above and beyond with these features is our analyst ratings, a tab that, most investing apps provide, but I just don't ever see other investing apps that provide the depth for analyst ratings that we do.
Exactly. So I'll go back here, but looking at a quick breakdown of our analyst ratings, it gives you an overall view of buy, hold, and sells out there and a cumulative target price. But let's dig in a little bit deeper here. So I'll press on it, and once you see this page here, you can get a breakdown of the consensus rating. So what we've consolidated from different analysts out there is an overall buy rating. Just above 57% have it as a buy, and only 3% have it as a sell. We also give you a cumulative target price. So that's the current price and tries to help paint a picture of a 12-month forecast based on these analyst ratings as well. But if you have, either an analyst or a particular company that you like to track in terms of the ratings that they're putting out, this breaks down different target prices from institutions, but also analysts as well. So you can get a full picture on this page.
You can get a really full picture. I mean, if we were to click into Bank of America Securities, you see, I won't pronounce that name because I don't want to butcher it. However, you can see all of the different buy ratings from Mohan. And you can even go a step further. You can go into the actual article that they published in the app and see why he chose that rating and get an actual breakdown, all in the Moomoo app. I mean, it's incredible. I love this feature, and we'll see that over and over again.
I agree, Russ. Yeah, we try to consolidate everything for you here. I know this can be spread out all over the place, and we're trying to consolidate it for you here. So, yeah, you can see these different ratings happening. It's a pretty consistent stream of updates for you there as well. But I'll take a quick step back on this tab as well. We also have Morningstar Research. So this is typically a paid source that you can enjoy here at Moomoo. What this is showing is an overall rating, fair value, just a detailed breakdown of the stock report that Morningstar has put out there. You can see this was updated just a few days ago, and this is great information to help you make an informed decision as well.
I love Morningstar. I think it's really useful that we are able to provide such high quality analysis from such a reputable company. But what I think is really cool as well is the next feature just below Morningstar Research, which is our company valuation tab. I went to college for finance. I learned all about the different ways to value a company, but I've never seen an app that can visualize it quite like Moomoo. And we're not even just talking about price to earnings. There's price to book and price to sales as well. So I really want to make sure that you spend a little bit of time sharing this feature with our audience.
Exactly. Yeah. If you are more of a fundamental investor, that you're going to appreciate this tab here because again, we bring in information from, many different data resources, but consolidate it here in the Moomoo app for you here. So we give you a historical distribution, an industry distribution, just comparing Apple to its competitors, a
And you can break
market.
that out as well. If you click the comparison, you can see we're comparing Apple to Tesla, Sony, and you can add more. You can add up to three, I believe.
Yeah, you can definitely differentiate here and make a comparison based off of different stocks, different time periods. Absolutely, something available to you as well. So I'll click through our price to book and price to sales as well. You can really spend a lot of time on this tab again, helping you make your next trade idea become a reality. Take a quick step back here. Again, this company tab, we can spend all day on this, Russ. There's so much information here at your disposal. Again, we are trying to help you make the best trading decision you can with the information that you need. So, revenue breakdown, financial estimates, indicators. You can break down the income statement by different factors like revenue, operating profit, net income.
And
Go
what I
ahead.
think is cool about this tab, and might be worth pointing out, is if you click that side caret next to the income statement, for more traditional investors and analysts, we do break it down by line item, just like you would see in a 10K. So don't feel like you need to jump back into the SEC's website to find that 10K information or the quarterly information, because we do break that down traditionally for you as well.
Agreed. Yeah. Like I said, we could spend all day here. If you have time, if you're looking at a particular stock, take a look at this company page. Take a look at all of these ratings and statements that we put out and consolidate for you. Again, I think this could be helpful to many investors out there.
Yeah, maybe we'll spend a video just on this tab in the future.
Maybe, Russ. Maybe. All right, so our next tab over here, I'll click on shareholders. This gives you a breakdown of different institutions and how much they hold of a particular stock or security that you're taking a look at. Again, this shows a visual representation of how much of the stock is owned by institutions, how many shares are held, things along those lines. Insider activity. We'll click here as well. This gives you a breakdown of different um, people that work for the company, what they've been doing in terms of how they have to disclose buys and sells as well. And we also break down dividends here as well. You can get a breakdown of different years and how the company has paid out their dividends and how that's grown or shrank as well. You can take a look at stock splits, a company overview, just giving you a better idea of what the company does, what sector they fall under, and executives out there as well.
Geez, Jake, I think we can all agree that is quite the analysis that we provide. Now, we've done charting, we've looked at options, we've seen the public sentiment, we've even reviewed news and looked over their 10Ks. We've done a ton of analysis, but we haven't traded a stock yet. I think that's what comes next after you have done your analysis. So, what if we look at another company and actually go through what it looks like to trade a company? I'm looking at Google right now.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at Google. So I'm going to press on the magnifying glass in the top right hand corner, and we'll take a look at the A shares for Google here. So again, this is going to bring you to that single stock page that we spent some time on, but in the bottom left hand corner, you should see trade. Let's go ahead and press on that. And just for example here, we'll be thinking about buying Google potentially. So
Well, Jake, what happens if you sell a stock and you have zero shares? Like, I don't own any stock right now, but it's giving me the option to sell.
So selling shares that you don't have, that's a quick representation of short selling. We saw some of the analysis around short selling previously, but when you sell a stock that you don't currently own, that's kind of the most basic way to explain a short sell. So you're selling something that you don't own with the thought or hope that you could potentially buy that back at a lower price.
No worries. I had no idea our platform offered short selling. So that's a great feature to acknowledge. But with that, I'm in the mood to buy Google. So what does that look like?
Yeah, let's take a look at the Google trade page here. So, as you see, the bid and ask is changing very frequently right now. You can see the chart at the top as well. What I want to point out is we're currently looking at the light trade page. In the top right hand corner, you can differentiate between the light order ticket and the pro order ticket. We'll keep digging through the light for right now, but definitely important to understand that you can differentiate between the two. Let's take a look. So, as we scroll down, again, you can indicate that you want to buy for this example here. Order type, we have a number of different order types. We'll take a look at this page for a minute here. So, we recently put out a video that helps explain what these different order types are and some common scenarios where you may use them. But we also do a good job on this page as well. You get a quick definition of what these order types are and allows you to again make sure the order you're putting out is matching your intention. But for this example, we'll keep looking at a limit order. So a buy limit order is saying I want to buy at this price, but I'm not willing to spend anything more than that price. Someone's willing to sell it to you for that price is how you can get an order executed. But right below the order type is where you can indicate the price that you're willing to buy for. Quantity is the number of shares that you're currently trying to buy. And we give more information again for your account. What's the max you're willing to buy? Other things along those lines. And then once you typed out a quantity here, for example, the amount is going to show you the amount that you're about to spend. Session here, you can differentiate for your order being it for regular trading hours only. We also have order types that are both good for regular trading hours and pre and post market as well. Time and force, you can choose day or good till cancel, leaving that open order for 90 days potentially. And as we scroll down, again, you'll be able to get a quick glance at the positions you currently have, any recent orders or open orders, your history, and today's stats as well. We'll take a quick look at Pro as well. You're going to get a more intense, more detailed breakdown of what's going on with the particular stock and how you can uh, make that work for your account. So, gives you a bigger idea of the quantity to buy or quantity to sell. Quantity to short sell is there as well. And if you scroll down again, this is how you can get to the level two market data that's offered at Moomoo. So, giving you a representation of how many shares people are willing to buy or sell at different prices.
Well, I think that just about does it for single stock analysis and for the watch list tab in general, if you think about it. So, what if we shift gears and take a look at the markets tab?
Yeah, let's take a look. So I'll back up here and we'll get out of single stock analysis. So bottom left-hand corner, you can press on the markets tab. What we're looking at here is a broad overview of how the major indexes have performed in the short term. So you can see a worldwide view of the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the DAX 30, but you can also see some of the Asian markets as well, the Shanghai, the ASX 200, Singapore market. This gives you a quick glance of how the world markets are performing in general. If we scroll down, again, you'll get live views of the major US indexes like the Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, some quick news articles that are coming out around these major indices. We also quote index futures, commodities, Forex, bonds, and crypto here as well.
And I think we should get into that a little bit more because, truthfully, I think we all care a lot about what the US tab has to offer. That is the meat and potatoes, in my opinion. However, I'd love to bring a little bit of light to all of the different commodities that we provide data on as well, because it's incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. So, just for example, here, let's press on the crypto tab. What you're going to see is again, different graphs, different current stock prices or current prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, different current cryptocurrencies out there. You can also see a heat map for specifically for cryptocurrency, giving you a quick glance at the overall market. Investment themes. So we also put themes that people seem to be following as well, and different quick heat checks on cryptos out there. So a risers list, a turnover list. We'll go over to Forex because again, you can see how some of these different commodities are moving up and down as the market goes on here. So relatively similar, gives you a breakdown all across the world or for specific regions as well. You can also see that for bonds, American region, Asia Pacific region, all over the world again here. And then we're also quoting futures for you as well. So index futures, single stock, FX, metals, and many others.
And same with the options tab, and that'll be the last tab we really take a look at before we dive into the meat and potatoes. But again, if you prefer options trading, I think there's a lot of value that you can find in this overview tab.
Absolutely. Again, overall breakdown of different our tools that we provide to you, but top zero DTE options by volume, another visual representation of unusual activity, top stocks around options volume as well, and options rankings, and bottom of the page here, again, a place to go to learn more about all things options related.
All right, let's dig in because the US market tab, similar to our single stock analysis, is what makes this platform so unique. There is so much to see here, and I really think it's worth spending the time to gain a full understanding of how you can use this tool to take advantage during your investment analysis.
Agreed. Again, so top of the page, you're going to get the major US indices, how they're performing. But you can see some sub tabs here. So You can dig into how different IPOs are. You can dig into our screener. This is where you can dive into the nitty-gritty details and help identify different stocks, different setups out there that may be interesting to your trading patterns. So you can dive into as much or get as granular as you'd like here. But this is something that typically isn't offered on a mobile platform, but I think we do a good job of allowing you to do this to screen different stocks as you see fit.
And I know the IPO, it hasn't been this like the sexiest few years for IPOs, but if and when the market does heat up, I think it's incredibly unique that we are able to subscribe to IPOs. And um, I mean, I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about that because I'm not the professional here, but I've never seen the ability to subscribe to an IPO on another platform.
Yeah, something that has come about in recent history. People are interested in IPOs, right? Typically, they can have more volatility around these new stocks. But what you're allowed to do here or offered is you can subscribe to an IPO before they go public. And that gives you the potential to possibly receive shares before they trade in the open market. So you can see available ones that to be listed and ones that are already listed as well.
Thank you, Jake.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can also differentiate between fractional shares, which we recently offered, ETFs, margin trading, but we'll keep scrolling down. Again, you can get a quick heat map of how the US market is performing by different sectors out there. Let's just press on that very quickly. Again, you can get a very broad picture or dive into specific sectors again.
Our ability to filter, whether that be by market cap turnover or quantity or even the percent change based on different time frames.
Agreed. I think something you see across the Moomoo platform, the mobile platform in general, we want to meet you where you are. So you can customize or filter by different data points. Anything that you're looking to see, you should be able to accomplish here on the platform. We'll back up here. Again, dividends have been becoming more popular as of recently. People looking to capture more income, but we differentiate here and again give you different yields and market caps that you can sort by.
And then you also see the dividend calendar right below that, which kind of intros us to our earnings calendar. But I think it's super unique that we can track the dividends visually.
I'll press it here. So you can either just scroll through the calendar, through the days to see, um, when different dividends should be sent out to shareholders. Again, you can scroll or just search by the particular stock as well, giving you a better idea of when to expect that income. I know we spent some time on our earnings calendar, but we'll talk about it more here. So I think this does a really good job of giving you a narrow or broad picture of earnings that are coming up. So you see that some that are supposed to be announced today. On the right hand side, you could quickly add some of these to your calendar so you can just remember to tune in or to pay attention to those announcements as well. I'll back up here again, but you can dig into the earnings hub as well. Again, giving you a broad picture of popular companies that have or will report in the near future, giving you a good breakdown there. You can differentiate between sectors here as well to get a better understanding of how different companies have been reporting or will be reporting in the future. I'll back up though here. We'll keep scrolling down. There's a lot of information on this US tab. So as we can see, we also have the economic calendar, something you can press on and get a full understanding of some of the major reports that are sent out to US stock traders. Again, you can see US initial jobless claims, when that's set to be reported, how it was previously reported, and the actual or consensus of those ratings or reports as well. We'll back up here again. Market Monitor is an interesting feature as well. So we can press on this. Um, this is a tool that helps you identify different setups out there. So we can press on it. It helps users track unusual activities of all different stocks, not just one particular stock or security out there as well. So this is giving you an ever-changing idea of just things that have been identified as unusual activity and the data behind it. We also have our featured list a little bit lower here as well. So we give a heat list based off of popular stocks or volume, things along those lines. We help identify pre-market movers, top gainers on the day, and short sell interests changing as well. You can press on featured lists and get an even bigger idea of different stocks out there, potentially giving you future ideas of different trade opportunities. You can filter this as well by different statistics, just like basically everything in the Moomoo app. We'll go back here, and I think this is an interesting one. I know, Russ, I think this is one of your favorites, but this is our industry chain.
I
Uh,
did a little foreshadowing earlier about some of my favorite and most impressive features. And, obviously I have bias. I'm my own investor, just like you guys do your own research. But for me, when it comes to exploratory and trying to find new companies, this feature is my favorite. So I'm excited for Jake to share it with you.
we can press on it here. And what this is doing is giving you essentially like a roadmap or true web of how different sectors out there are all connected. So, for example, if you were interested in learning about Tesla's industry chain, you can press on this here and get a start to finish of how Tesla works. So, from the battery pack to the thermal management, smart cockpit, electric drive system, you can dive into each of these different sectors and see different stocks that fall under them as well. So, lithium ion battery, you can see stocks that are known to produce those and be in that sector or industry. But you can dive into this as much as you want. So, medicine, again, giving you an idea of the upstream to downstream players in that industry. So, from raw materials, you can see some stocks that or companies that fall under that particular sector, all the way to medical service. Again, giving you ideas of companies that participate there as well.
And even if you just want to do ancillary research, just by clicking into this tab, you see at the top that the market cap of medicine is 6.76 trillion and there's 1,924 constituent stocks. So if you're just trying to gain a quick understanding of how big or diluted an industry is, this is a great way to get a quick little screenshot of that.
Absolutely. Fair to say. Good call out, Russ. We'll keep moving on here. I think there's a few other things that people will definitely want to make sure they pay attention to, including our institutional tracker. Again, giving an idea of what institutions, how their holdings are changing every time they update their holdings. It's going to be displayed here as well in short order. So you can see trending stocks, most held across different institutionals traders, position increase, how institutions are increasing different holdings out there and decreases as well. We also offer rating changes as well. So, again, giving you an idea of how financial analysts, professionals out there, how they're changing their outlook on particular stocks. So, you can sort by upgrade, downgrade, or new as well. You can also press on here and get an even broader picture. You can see some of the top analysts and how they are, their success rate and price targets out there as well. So I just press on top analysts, again, giving you an idea of their success rate, something that you can check up on and dig into their particular ratings. But rating changes as we scroll down, Here's giving you a visual representation of gainers and decliners and holds out there. As we continue to scroll down, investment themes.
Unlike ETFs, these are groupings of stocks that veer outside of sectors or industries. They're much more focused on strategy. So if we're interested in something like ChatGPT or artificial intelligence, you'll get different stocks that all work or mimic that industry. And then they also have some pretty crazy stuff like Nancy Pelosi's holdings, Donald
Mhm.
Trump, Wall Street bets. So it's pretty fun. You can have a lot of fun in the investment themes section.
Perfect. Thanks, Russ. And we also have candlestick patterns here as well. So,
Sorry to interrupt you, but the final moment of foreshadowing coming into fruition here, because this, again, is one of my favorite features on the platform. I've never seen anything like this. I am not a technical analyst. We've said that many times in this call, but as somebody that's interested in momentum and potentially even learning technical analysis, this feature is absolutely perfect for it. So without further ado, Jake, give them a look.
absolutely. So, candlestick patterns. This is using artificial intelligence to help identify different technical setups out there. So, if you're someone like myself, has a lot of responsibilities, and you're not always able to look through hundreds of charts to try to find that technical setup that you're trying to pinpoint here, this feature can be used to help identify different stocks falling under these technical setups. So let's say bullish flag is something you're interested in. Once you press on that, again, leaning into the learning aspect, you can learn more about the bullish flag. You can see some of the returns that have followed along that, comparing it to major indices. And then lower here is where it helps identify different stocks that have been identified as following along this setup here. So again, giving you an opportunity to help identify stocks that you may not be looking at on a day-to-day basis that fall into a setup. In the top right-hand corner, again, this gives what I tried to just relay to you here. So how do I evaluate stocks with these candlestick patterns, giving you a breakdown of this tool, how you can use it for your trading experience, um, details behind it. So you can learn all about that here as well. Let's go back though, trend projection. So what this is trying to do, um, some of the stocks that we've already talked about here are already presented in this trend projection. It's trying to give you a forecast based on short-term or similar intervals on how similar trading movement or price movement has played out for similar stocks or similar setups as well. Again, we can press on the right-hand corner. You can get a full breakdown of this trend projection, the rationale behind it, and the data or math that goes into help identify similar stocks and this trend projection.
And I think that just about does it for our markets tab. A really, really impressive section, if I do say so myself, but I want to make sure we leave some time to talk about some other valuable sections that we haven't shed light on. We spent a lot of time talking about the numbers, but we've touched on sentiment, news, we have a community. So I think we should jump into those features now.
Yeah, so you can find all of those in our Discover tab. So towards the bottom right-hand corner of your app, you can press on Discover, and this is where you can get to a lot of those features that Russ talked about. First of all, navigation settings at the bottom. As you can see, the apps start to shake. You can move them to your bottom toolbar and move some up. You can customize that however you see fit. But we'll start with the Moo community here. So we'll press on this. This is where our 20 plus million worldwide users come to discuss hot topics, to give their ideas, their trade ideas, their opinions on different global trends, things along those lines.
And to ask questions, because that's a super important part of this community. There's no wrong questions. And I think a lot of what we're going to discuss moving forward is education focused. How can we improve the trading experience for people that are new or novice investors? So I think that's an important part, is come get a global perspective on the markets. Ask any questions you want. And if you're even more focused on learning, To segue us, we have the live tab, which is going to be next to following and to the right of the feed. And that's where you can really spend time learning from our webinars and educating yourself. We actually have a live webinar right now with Justin, our VP of Strategy. Want to ask questions, give insights, learn from our top executives? I highly suggest spending some time in the Moo tab. However, let's not get stuck in any one place. Why don't we head on over to the news tab, Jake?
Yeah, so let's press on news here. Again, what you can see is different headlines that are coming out minute by minute about popular stocks, popular trends, things along those lines. You can differentiate and search for a particular stock as well and see the news here. Also, again, like I said, we have news coming out minute by minute, trying to keep you updated and making sure you're well informed about recent trends or headlines. So we can see minute by minute, again, these are coming out. You can also search news by your watch list. So you can customize your watch list, add every stock that you're interested in learning about, and then see the consolidated news for it here as well. Here you can press on announcements and ratings too. Russ, who do we pull from in terms of our news?
We have a ton of news partners, pretty much everyone you could imagine. Wall Street Journal, Benzinga, Bloomberg, Barron's, Seeking Alpha, Yahoo Finance, Newswire, the list goes on and on. But we also have a 24/7 news team that sits in office with us and is responsible for keeping up with earnings updates, breaking news, headlines, and they even do a small little 5-minute update that you can check out that may or may not be at the top of your headlines tab by a guy named Kevin Travers. He does a 5-minute, 3 to 5 minute podcast giving a news update on everything that you need to know to be an informed investor that day. And if you want to participate, you can literally answer his polls. So again, paying tribute to the community tab. And now let's spend a little bit of time on one of my genuine favorite sections, and that is the learn section.
Agreed. One of my favorites as well here. So I think a lot of investors out there are trying to find where they should start. They know they're interested in investing and building long-term wealth, but they don't know how and they don't know the mechanics behind it. We do a really good job of breaking down anywhere from the most basic concepts to the most complex financial instruments as well here. So you can go to our Learn tab and differentiate by options, stocks, ETFs, just tutorials about how to use Moomoo and perspectives as well. As we scroll down here again, you can see some of these have been viewed many, many times and are used by many of our Moo community out there. So you want to learn about options trading, you can see this video about a real life case study. You want to see some of our earnings focus, we can have a video of that as well. Practical trading strategies, more trading power, trend trading. Again, we break down concepts across the financial spectrum, and you can see all of that here
And
as
that's
well.
the beauty of it. It starts in the most basic of ways. Options 101, how to trade a stock, what is a stock, how to navigate the platform, which is where, this video lives. And it will go all the way to algorithmic trading, quantitative analysis. And if you want, to expedite or get a bird's eye view of all of our courses, at the very bottom, you can click view more courses, and that gives you our entire library from beginning to the end. There are, I dare say, hundreds of courses that you can learn here. So again, if you feel like Moomoo may be a little overwhelming or you don't know how to best take advantage of some of these features we're discussing today, I can guarantee you that there is a video or course that will help you learn about these features. Now, we've talked about Learn, we've talked about Moo and the news section, and maybe you feel like you want to start trading, but you just aren't willing to risk the money yet because, hey, that's our hard-earned money. So, Jake, what can we do on Moomoo if you want to practice trading?
Yeah, for sure. So this is something that Moomoo does well compared to other big box brokerages out there. A lot of brokerages don't spend time and resources into paper trading. Paper trading is essentially a simulated account. So you can start with $1 million, as you see here, and you can practice the mechanics of placing a trade. You can learn how to actually press the buttons around buying and selling different stocks and securities out there. So our paper trading account does a few other things as well. You can see hot stocks on in this tool. You can see hot options as well. You can view leaderboards and see what their portfolio consists of. You can follow those people as well and also discuss in our paper trading forum.
All right, Jake, what do we have left here? I think we have one more feature that we want to share with the audience today.
So I think our last feature here is our chats tool. So this is a place where you can enter chat rooms. There's many different chat rooms out there, ranging from beginning investors to learning options to maybe algorithmic trading chat rooms out there, and you can learn. You can enter those. You can set up your own as well, and really dive into a community that is there to support and help you learn along the way.
I do want to pay special attention to the Me tab. So if you don't mind going there real quick, Jake, this is just a quick little shout. Again, in parallel with the community tab, if you want to create your profile, add a profile picture, access your user ID, or even check in on your points. Maybe you want to redeem your points in the shop, grab yourself some data or a figurine. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that's where our 24/7 customer service is. You can provide app feedback, and this is where you can easily invite your friends as well, which we hope you do.
Well said.
And I think that just about does it, Jake.
Thank you guys so much for attending this mobile demo. We really hope you had the opportunity to learn more about our platform and how it can help your trading experience. We hope to do more of these demos in the future, but please let us know what you'd like to learn more about in the comments section.
And if you have not already, make sure to check out the chat down below for some really incredible promotions. All right, guys, thanks so much. See you later.